Okay. Hi, guys. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the seventh community call of Starknet Africa. And today we'll be having Okhai, who is the founder of Rem Ofra, and he'll be giving us intro and very good detail on Mancala, which is one of the products he's building. So, my name is Paul Emmanuel, and I'm the host for this call, and our guest here is Okhai. So, Okhai, please introduce yourself.
Okay. Thanks for listening. My name is Okhai. I'm a Twebe. I am a developer. So I've been in the Starknet ecosystem for about 7 to 8 months now. Contributed to a couple of open source projects, and I decided to test out on-chain gaming. So yeah, I am building on-chain games.
Cool, cool. Okay, so I'm very curious, like how you got into crypto. I mean, for me, I got into crypto in 2017, and then since then it has been all fun. And so I'm very curious on how you got into crypto.
Oh, okay. So my crypto journey started when I actually started a master's. So I started a master's in machine learning, and then I was curious about the intersection of machine learning and blockchain technology. I was just really curious. Then I started reading about this, and I found Bankless. So I joined the DAO, and then I met a lot of crypto OGs. I started learning from them. Worked on a couple of projects. Learned Solidity and just different aspect of it, and I just made a lot of friends, and that's just how I got into crypto.
Oh, so how did you stumble on top of Starknet?
Um, how I stumbled upon Starknet was again out of curiosity. I started hearing about ZK rollups, and I was curious about it, but there's just so many new things that's going on every time.
Yeah.
I just put in the back burner that I would get to it eventually. So there's a day I just had free time and I was just looking out. And then I found a project called Orion. It's again at the intersection of machine learning and blockchain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. So I started testing out the framework. It's by Giza Tech. So I was running into issues. So I joined their Discord. I was asking them a lot of questions, and I helped even update some of the documentations on there so that it can be easy. And then I just got more curious about Starknet, and I found the base camp. No, not before that. Then I found Louis. I joined a community call with him, and that it was I just got more stack filled after that.
Yeah, basically, I think a huge percentage of people I know actually got to learn about Starknet through Louis. I mean, when it comes to the fundamentals and all. Okay, cool. So, today you're talking about Mancala, and most of our audience, maybe they don't know like what Mancala is all about. So, can you give us like a brief intro of what Mancala is all about?
All right. So Mancala is a turn-based strategy board game. So it's a game that I know has been played. It's over 1,000 years plus from my research. It's been played by different parts of. It's played literally all over the world, and there's so many variants. So I used to play this game growing up. It's called Ayo. It's another variant of Mancala. This is native to
Yeah.
Nigeria, and I enjoyed playing it to be honest, but then I stopped playing it for a while. So I again learned about on-chain gaming with True Dojo Engine, and I wanted to recreate a piece of African history on Starknet through gaming. So um, that's the brief of that. But again, Mancala is a turn-based strategy board game. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. In our like in my language, you call it ancho. I don't know. Do you have like a dialect? Do you have a name you call it in your local dialect?
My local dialect, no. But again, I grew up in Ibadan, so they call it Ayo there. But I've met a
Oh,
lot of
cool.
that call it different names. I know someone said ORA. This is not in Nigeria, but even when I posted it, I got a couple of tweets, people responding on the tweets that okay, yeah, I remember this game. I'm familiar with this game. Um, yeah, and I'm actually having another interview with a friend from Ghana that plays this game a
Oh,
lot. And I
cool,
think he says it's called Owari in Ghana too.
cool, cool. Okay, so I'm very curious. Like, what led you to? build this game on Starknet? Of course, I mean, there's a lot of on-chain games on Starknet, but I mean, everyone like has like the reason why they are building on a specific platform. So why did you choose to build this on Starknet?
Wait, why do I choose to build a game on Starknet, or what led me to build the game in the first place?
Both of them.
Both of them. Okay.
Yeah,
This is my first time building on-chain games, right? I'm relatively new to it. So I was trying to figure out something that, again, it's a piece of my culture that I can, put here, because like I think I don't know how to, no, I don't know how to phrase this word, but it's, let's just say, like most of the things we build a lot of things in Africa that it's not yet, like, it doesn't get exposure because we don't probably
yeah,
market it well, or we are not, combining with the right technology. We kind of mostly stick to what our parents used to do. So I'm like, this is an innovative technology. What if I can bring this traditional thing and combine it with innovation? I think it will be good, but it's also because my first time, I felt like it's easy enough to be able to use to learn about this dojo engine, but also bring that true goal of like putting my culture on chain. So that is why I chose to build this game in the first place. But for on Starknet, I know this is probably not related to this game, but Starknet is a ZK scaling solution, right, for Ethereum. And I've used Ethereum, and I understand that there's like a lot of limitations to the kind of computation you can do on there.
yeah,
Which Starknet allows you to scale this computation, because you can do it once and verify it everywhere. So in this case, you can create stuff and then go verify it on Ethereum instead of having to rerun the computation. So again, I think this is going to be really, really good for building games that are resource intensive. This is why I say it's not related to Mancala, because Mancala is not resource intensive. But again, I just wanted to learn, and I'm like, okay, this is a perfect solution. And then there's other features that Starknet brings to the table with native account abstraction, session keys,
yeah.
just enables it to improve the user experience of playing this game. So I was like, well, I'm already interested in ZK. There's a lot of amazing people I know here, and I guess there's no better place to build than Starknet right now.
Yeah, so basically my next question has to do with okay, why um like how can you differentiate this from normal traditional blockchain games you have? But before I hop onto that, can you like explain to me like I'm five the meaning of on-chain games? Like okay, of course people uh join this call maybe um they don't really know like the details or maybe of like the definition of on-chain games.
Oh, it's literally in the world on chain games. So it's like games built on the blockchain. A blockchain brings out a lot of unique benefits, right?
Mm-hmm.
One is true ownership, right? Um, True ownership is a big deal. Um, then there is autonomous worlds and provable games. So these are three different spectrums. But again, on-chain game is simply like building a game on a blockchain compared to like a
Yeah.
game that you're using traditional database. One benefit again is like it brings out like unstoppable games. So like me now, there are a lot of games I was playing when I was young. I really loved the game, but for some reason I couldn't find them again because maybe the people that created them, stopped production or something happened and they just couldn't continue this. Well, with building a game on chain, you don't have to worry about like a centralized agency maintaining this database, because even if that goes down, the game is always going to be on chain and you can always go reference it. Like Mancala, for example, building it all open source. Even once I deploy the source code, it's essentially unstoppable. Everybody with a contract can keep playing this game even if something happens to me and I cannot continue building this. But
Oh,
again, I brought out this like, okay, it's open source, people can also build more things to it. But again, on chain
yeah.
bring out that unique benefit. Um, and I'm going to try to relate it to Mancala. So it's like I've been asking myself, why build this on on chain in the first place? Because it's a simple
Yeah.
solution. But again, is that record of immutable records? It's like in 200 years, there's a record that shows that um, I played this game and I was the best at this game at that
Mm-hmm.
time. It's a bragging right I can show to my children that, oh yeah, no, I got this award for playing this game, and it's
Yeah.
not that something can happen in like 200 years and I'm not here. It's still gonna
Mm-hmm.
be. So that's a good benefit. I know, again, I'm looking at it from the African lens. We're not shown like historically that we are good at record keeping, like, written records. And I'm like, this is, it brings that thing where you can always have this record there. So I think that's a unique benefit of like on-chain game. I know, again, I talked about autonomous world. This is a new concept that, it's still emerging, so I'm not going to dive deep into it. But again, it's still that unstoppability I was still talking about.
Yeah, cool, cool. Okay, so I know you have like spoken a little bit about like the benefit of building on Starknet, which are multi-core session keys for games and a whole lot of stuff. So, but I really want to know like how does building a game on Starknet differ from creating a traditional blockchain games?
Okay, at least right now, I said I'm relatively new to building games on chain, but
Mm-hmm.
that second key, I think it's a game changer, because I've seen a lot of, like, even ads where they're showing traditional on chain games where you're like, you're playing a game, you have to sign a transaction every time you're playing a game. That's not good user
Yeah,
experience. It's like, I want to make a
yeah.
move, and I have to go sign my wallet transaction, then I have to do this again. This is not uniquely, this next thing I want to discuss is not uniquely enabled by. It's enabled by Starknet, yes, but it's not. Other people have started trying to adopt this, account
Mhm.
abstraction methodology. But
Yeah.
where I can abstract for user onboarding in this case, instead of having to cartridge. There's this company called Cartridge. They built
Yeah.
something called Cartridge Controller, where instead of having for my user to have to go get a wallet, like MetaMask, and then have to go remember their seed phrase and all these things to play a game. That's just too
Mhm.
much responsibility. That I just want to play a game. I don't want to worry about all those things. Well, with Starknet, and with the cartridge controller, you can abstract that part from the users. They just need to log in, and and just play the game. And you can even also use, like, paymasters, where the users don't have to even worry about paying for this transaction. So we get to that
Mhm.
point where, okay, this onboarding experience is good, because why would someone leave the traditional game where I don't have to worry about all this, unnecessary responsibilities? This is what I'm thinking about it. I just want to play the game. Why do I have to carry all this burden? Well, Starknet enables it to be way seamless compared to any other blockchain I've used in the past. So that is one key thing I think Starknet does better compared to any other blockchain.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. I do think Stacknet like is superior when it comes to account abstraction. I mean, the fact that it's natively built into the blockchain and all. So my next question will go around like I read through the thread that was written about Mancala, and you mentioned that it promotes like adoption by tapping into familiar cultural games. Like, can you expand how Mancala does this and especially like when it comes to the African region and all.
Okay, so I was discussing with my friend from Ghana, and
Hmm.
it was talking about, with the blockchain technology, it's built in the West. And this is something that's, they build a lot of advanced technology infrastructures and all this stuff. And it's easier for them to, because they have daily technology, they use technology daily and everything. So it's easier for them
Yeah.
to easily adopt this stuff, because it's something that is accessible to them. But in
Hmm.
Africa, we have our own unique barriers. We have some places where it's difficult to, access to like stable electricity and all this stuff. So having them to go and learn all these new things, and it's a bit of a barrier, because this is not something they're familiar with, and it's not something they use on a daily. But if you can tap into something that is already relatable, it's a cultural thing. A lot of people have seen this game called Mancala, or a different variant. So it's something
Yeah.
that they're like, my dad, he said he played this game when he was young. He had to dig old. So it's something I can say, oh wow, I can relate to
Hmm.
this. I understand this. Let me see this. And from there, they start getting exposure to, Web3 technologies, and they can, learn new things through that, because this is a good entry point than having them to go learn a new thing, which I'm not saying you're still not going to learn a new thing yet, but it just reduce that barrier and the friction to like easy onboarding, because this is something relatable compared to, just talking about infrastructures. Like, how can I relate it to what I'm doing right now? Because remember, like the community I'm trying to address is like they're not like that vast with these complex technologies that we are talking about. We
Yeah,
need.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Cool,
But
cool.
what are your
Hey,
thoughts on this? I'm curious about your thoughts. Oh my man.
okay, so I do think Mancala is a very good concept. I mean, I played like let's say when I go to a um a place that have some such kind of games, I do play with my friends and all, but it's not something I play very often. So that's why I'm very curious to see this on the blockchain and see how many people we can actually onboard into the blockchain world, or maybe people that are quite interested into like games like that. So I find Mancala, Ludo as very good concept that people can just hop in and play on the blockchain as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to, because you said you played this, because my friend said he has a physical bud on there in his house, that when he
Hmm.
gets there, every time it's like when someone comes to visit him, like, let's play this game. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we can. I want to play games with my friends that I used to play with when I was young. We are now in
Hmm.
different parts of the world, right? It's like, okay, let's go
Yeah.
play a game. But aside from that, I also wanted to introduce the concept of competitive gaming. Yeah, I'm still, this is still a work in progress, but is
Hmm.
that people play chess globally. I'm not comparing Mancala with chess right now, but it's like if
Yeah.
we actually, look at ways to improve, like we can think about improving variants of this that can make it more competitive, where again promote we can promote our culture this way, that people can now look at this game as something that I can play as a competitive sport, because it also has some benefits. Because so you're playing this game, it helps you improve your memory in a way, because
Yeah.
observation skill, because you're, again, it's a strategy game, it's a turn-based strategy game. You're trying to anticipate your opponent's next move, but also using that to decide, choose your own move. So in a way, you would have to think critically about how you make this game, but then it helps you improve some other things in that. So it's not just a game; it has its own unique benefit in that case.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I agree with you. And the fact that, okay, I can connect with my friends that are outside the country and play with them, it's a very good idea. And also the fact that, like you said, everything is recorded on chain, so I can go back and probably have some bragging right that, okay, I've beaten you in the past and all that.
Yeah, and again, it has global state. So again, this is still not uniquely enabled by Starknet, but it's good. It's improved on Starknet. Now I don't have to, say I'm the best in the world.
Hmm.
I'm in my local environment being the best in the world. It's like this is provable that I am the best because I'm playing
Yeah,
again. But again, we'll still need a lot of work to onboard more people to understand these concepts, and then then we can say, okay, it's not just silo to our own niche and say we're the best in the world when we're just the best on Starknet. So that is some. But again, it's you can prove that I'm the best in the world with this compared to like relatively like siloed ecosystem. There was a very good example that this guy, I don't know if you're familiar with Loot Survivor. It's also a game on Starknet. Um,
yeah,
it's an arcade game, or it's a concept from an arcade game. And the guy that built it really, really, really likes arcade games. And he talked about Donkey Kong and how the world best in Donkey Kong was cheated off his title. Again, there's like procedures that you can do to play this game. He did all these procedures and he uploaded it. Then someone randomly uploaded another thing and kind of like disproved that he's the winner. Right? For 10 years, he didn't get his
that's
title
crazy.
the best. But again, if you're building this on chain, you cannot dispute,
Hmm.
you cannot manipulate that kind of stuff. You always have a way to verify that. So again, that's that part of it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that. So I think you might have answered this question, though. But let me just ask again. Maybe if you have like more details to share. So Mancala is noted for the its simplicity of ease. Okay. Mm. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah. Are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, so I was trying a question. So the next question I have for you is like is maybe you might have answered it, but Mancala is like known for its simplicity, ease of learning. So how do you think it impacts its potential to spread joy and awareness globally, and not just Africa, of course?
Again, because of its simplicity, it's like, again, everybody has an everything has its own audience, right? There's some people that don't want to go solve like complex mathematics to play a game, right? I just want to play a game on the downtime when I'm
Mhm.
talking with my friend now, and we just want to catch up and have a good conversation and not have to worry about some complex things. We can play this game easily because you don't need like a lot of advanced knowledge, to play the game. So
Yeah.
simple enough to have like a decent conversation and play the game. Now, I was talking to
Mhm.
someone at my workplace where I was saying on Friday, we shouldn't focus on work. We should have like a chill day. So in this chill day, we can play Mancala and use that as like an icebreaker or just like a down timer. So it's
Yeah.
it's it's a good use case in that example. So I don't think this is uniquely needed by only Africans, right? You can play
Hmm.
this game regardless of the culture. And interestingly, not only Africans play this game. Game is actually played globally. I found I think it's an organization in Britain or England, if I'm not mistaken, that
Hmm.
actually play this game competitively. So it's
Wow.
yeah, so it's like it's a global game still. It's just not as well known, or as well known as games like chess and all this other stuff. But yeah, it has its own community globally. We just need to tap to that. And this is another way to onboard people that are from this existing community onto Starknet, which I think it's
Yeah.
it's a good win-win strategy there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay, I even let's say people from the West or so, they sometimes have this curiosity to try out stuff from Africa. So I do think that they might find this like on-chain, yeah, Mancala like very interesting. Like when they can access it like anywhere they are without having to carry the boxes like all over the world and all. Okay, so my next question is, of course, Mancala is open source. So what opportunities are there for like others to contribute and improve the game?
Okay, so someone came to my DM last week and was asking for a specific feature on Mancala.
Hmm.
And this is something that it's not on my roadmap. I don't think I'm going to be doing that in the next 1 2 years. And I'm like, this is a beauty of of open source where you can fork this game and build your own variant of it. So instead of you having to start from scratch, are you still there?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So instead of you having to start from scratch and like solve problems that's already been solved in this case, you can just fork it and include that feature in it. You can hit, and the beautiful thing is I open source the client too, so you can use that client
yeah.
also to add your own feature that you like, and you can play with your friends, and this is your own variant. So this is again that is the one thing there, and only Dust, only Dust. We just finished the Only Dust act. We're able to onboard more contributors. Interestingly, we're working on one feature right now that is being led by a contributor we onboarded from Only Dust act. So this is like an open source. Is good at animations, and we wanted to add animations to the seed movement. And it's like I
Oh,
can do it. And he started working on it, and he sent videos of like the stage where it is right now. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And that is just one thing. Also, anybody that thinks about a feature that wanted, because okay, one, there's so many different variants of Mancala. Right now we're only working on one. Yeah, it's similar to Wario or Ayo. But you can be from like, let's say, Ethiopia or whatever country, and you say, oh, we have a different variant, and I want to see it on this client. They can just make that issue and start working on it. And you know they are welcome to do that. It's easier than having to go stress about starting something new. You can just coordinate there, and helps you also improve your skills on Cairo. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Although I didn't get the fact when you said he can just like fuck like something you have built for like very long time to build up his own. But it's the idea of open source, of course. I mean, is the idea of open source.
You
Okay,
said
so
you didn't get the part where I said you can fork it.
uh,
So
no, 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 no. I'm just curious, like why you have to like tell the person to fuck what you're rebuilding. Okay,
that's the point of open source.
so
We can make it better
yeah, yeah. Actually, I get that. I get that.
because
Okay, so
okay, continue.
no, you can say what you want to say.
And this is the point of like the autonomous world things, yeah, too. It's like you don't have to stick to one traditional because again, when there's multiple variants, there is innovation in a way. Instead of me only
Mm-hmm.
going one path, think about it like Ethereum. Ethereum was
Yeah.
a form of Bitcoin. Ethereum is an
Mm-hmm.
amazing technology.
Yeah.
Imagine if Bitcoin wasn't open source and you only have that one single variant. You know, people are locked up in that, and this is not even literally how the world works, right? It's like there's a limited supply, and if this is truly going to be a global finance, you need to account for other people that probably did not join early and all this stuff. And this is again, Ethereum looked at all these issues and they say, okay, let's fuck this and make it better. It's similar to this game too. There's games that you're playing that you know that could be better, but maybe this is not in the vision or roadmap of the people that created it. You can easily fork
Mm-hmm.
it and create that vision. And maybe you even become like even more successful, which is I don't mind. I am going to be excited to see just this, in the future that someone's built something way better than I have. I could have ever took it.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so I'm very curious, like what stage are you at like the building phase of Mancala?
So we are waiting for Starknet upgrade to release our beta version. So, um, are you
Cool.
still there?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a working product MVP. I was actually gonna demo it to you today, but I broke something in there. I think I fixed it. I might be able to demo it, but I we can work on this last after at the end of this then. But yeah, you can actually play the game right now. You can get a winner. So we have a leaderboard completed. Well, it's still a work in progress, but the game logic has been completed, so the contracts are ready. And then we are fully working on integrating the client. Excuse me, there's noise outside here. But aside from that, we're waiting for the upgrade of Starknet so that we can deploy the latest because Dojo, which is one of our major dependency, is upgrading to version 1, and we need Starknet upgrade to be able to get there because we cannot deploy Cairo 2.7 code on there.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so what's future developments like do you have in plans? I mean, apart from the beta version you spoke about, like do you have specific features that you think you would implement in the game, or do you have like something different in mind that you have planned for like near future?
Yes, like I said, I wanted to bring up like competitive gaming stuff. So there will be like rewards. I've not fully implemented this and I have not fully thought about how this is going to play, but I know that there's going to be like rewards to the top probably 20 players of the game. Yeah. So it's like, and I was thinking, I talked to one of my friends that's into international relations that has also connection with schools where I can, have school compete against other schools. Like, okay, like game clubs on campus that can embody a team and they play it like a competition where would now see the winner and then there's an award to that. So there's literally so many other things I've been thinking about, but I will just leave it as that that I'm looking at making it more competitive uh, and onboarding more people from the grassroots on there.
Okay, cool. I think that's all the questions I have. So you spoke about the demo. Of course, you're not doing that today. Or, you want to give it a try.
I might be able to give it a trial. Again, I just broke it and fixed, so hopefully this works. Again,
Yeah,
this is the
because
challenge when you develop product.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Because I do think our audience would very, very curious to see this like on their screen. But if it's not available for demo, we can actually like wrap it up.
Okay, give me a second. I'm going to try the demo. If it breaks, maybe cut it out. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
um, so trying to open a browser, yeah. And I'll share my screen,
Okay.
right? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna try to share my screen, share screen, entire screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. I just shared.
Okay, wait, let me just add it to the stage.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So we do have a website. So if you go Realm of Ra, which is a gaming studio building the Unchained game, um,
Mm-hmm.
we're actually working on a all new UX redesign. So this should change probably 2 weeks or before the beta launch. But you can go to realmofra.com and you can click on lobby. So you should be able to see the existing game that's been deployed. But this is what I'm working on. So I'm going to use localhost for the presentation. Um, so you go to local. Well, I'm on localhost right now, so I just go to lobby, and in this case, I can connect my wallet. So I'm going to go and unlock my Argent wallet. We're working on deploying to Sepolia. So once we deploy to Sepolia, you wouldn't even have to worry about all this. We can use again cartridge controller, and then you can just
Oh,
log in
cool.
with your email, log in with your account. So you wouldn't have to worry about this. But right now, this is the status quo. In about 2 weeks, once Starknet goes on to the is it 0. Or 1.32? I
Yeah,
cannot
yeah,
remember
that's it. Yeah.
the number. But once it goes there, we should be able to deploy to Sepolia on the
Mm-hmm.
Dojo, and then we can use it. So in this case, I want to create a game. So public, create a game. So the game has been created. You can see it on here. So this, don't mind it. This is still work in progress, but this is the first player being in there. I'm going to move
Mm-hmm.
this screen here because we need two screens to play. I'm going to try to simulate player one and player two, right? So
Yeah.
so this is going to be player two. Give me a second. Okay. And I'm going to connect my wallet for player two here. Oh, not Bravos. I want Argent. Ah, well, it's going to take its time. So I'm going to try again. Use Bravos. Yeah, not sure what's going on. Okay. So yeah, this is player two. So we go to live duels. This is the game I just created from the other one. So I'm going
Yeah.
to go to the game. So these two players have gone. So I'm going to switch my screen to the other place. We should see the other player has joined the game. So in this case, if you want to play music, you can essentially turn on your music and just
Yeah,
vibe.
that's cool. Yeah,
Um,
that's cool.
so I'll make this player make his first move, right? And then the second player makes a move. We're working on animating this, right? So you don't have to just see it going magically. So the animation is coming. So let's make this move. And then this player is going to make another move here. And then next player, I'm going to try to capture this. I'm going to stop.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe you should reduce the volume a little bit for
I
the
just
music.
I just stopped the music. So this player is going to
Okay, cool.
now capture this. So if I move this
Mm-hmm.
port, it is capture this seed. Again, the game is to have the goal is to have the most seed at the end of the game, right? There's also a
Yeah.
timeout function there, which is going to come in the next update, where you should be able to see the time you have allocated to play the game. Because if you don't play in time, you'll be timed out and you'll lose the game. Why? Because I got an advice from someone that plays chess and says that
Yeah.
when someone is losing, they can just walk away from the game, which does not.
Yeah.
So it's like we want
Mm-hmm.
to cop that and have you play the game as you play. So this is it. So this other player is going to capture this because how it works, right? It's like once you put a seed your last seed and an empty place, and it's you know,
Mhm.
you put your capturing seed. It's called capturing seed. Give me a second. Okay, so I think okay, this is an issue with again. I think it timed out. Um, I need to still
Yeah.
fix this stuff. But yeah, once you put your last seed here, you can use this to capture and take it out there. But yeah, that
Yeah.
is kind of what the end game is. We still got some feedback to put a guide. So if it's your first time playing the game, you should be able to like pull up a guide and you should be able to learn how to play the game. Then there will be a leaderboard. Okay, awesome. This uh celebration.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, still work in progress. And we'll keep working on it, but we should have a better at the end of August once everything is
Cool.
ready.
Cool.
But yeah, that
Cool.
is essentially a snippet of what is coming. And just look forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the design looks slick. It doesn't the it looks very slick. I mean anyone can just open and say, okay, this is it. You just head on to play the game and all. And like you said, the guide is very, very important because of course if I want to play any game, I would want to maybe play a trial, maybe read the guide or something like that. But yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, and
And
good.
also yeah, and also the timer is very, very important because okay, let me say I'm playing FIFA with someone and maybe the person is winning me like 4-0 or something. I might want to like walk away and maybe make the person tired and to end the game so I win by default. And also when you set a timer, it makes the whole game interesting. Okay, you know that this is the time you need to play. Maybe okay, this is the time we don't have to be idle or something like that. I mean, something of that nature actually makes it
Yeah,
very, very interesting.
now, and I discussed it with someone again. I'm get good thing I'm getting some user potential, user feedback, and they're saying, okay,
Hmm.
that could be also subjective where we have a timer where the players set this when they start the game. So I'm like, okay, you have to move in 1 minute, or we can have like default options, so 1, 5, and 10 minutes, depending
Cool,
on
cool.
your own willingness to play the game. So you can say that, and then so that this is an agreement that after 10 minutes of idleness, you lost the game and this is
Yeah.
not just predefined and you're forced to do that. And it's be surprising that a community member will work on that stuff and we'll see this person.
Yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah.
other
It's
thing about the design when you talk about it, even though we're even working on like redesigning the entire thing, um,
hmm
designers are already working on that. Um, just to improve it and just make it, and we're going to keep working on that with the user feedback when we're better, just making
cool,
sure it sticks to what users want.
cool. I mean, I can't wait to try it out myself actually.
Looking forward to this. So I will definitely reach out to you once we're about to launch in beta, and I'll have you play it personally so we can see what you think about it. And this should be in a couple of weeks from now.
Cool, cool. I'm checking to see if we have any comments. But okay, we have one comment, but it's not a question though. Um. Yeah, so if we don't have any comments, so could you have any closing remarks you want to like say and or
um for me, I think we're still early, right? So there's a lot of things to explore. Yeah, I'm
hmm
building open source games, so on-chain games, necessarily not open source, but this one is open source. But I would love to see more people build stuff on Starknet. This
Yeah.
technology is it's mind-blowing, to be honest. And I would just love to see more people just try out new things. I started this game just because I wanted to build or bring African culture on chain. But I think there's a lot of people with ideas that want to work on things, and I think people should just start this. And Starknet is an environment that encourage this experimentation, which things no brainer. I know some people are looking at like Cairo, learning a new language as a barrier to entry, but there are now a lot of resource that is there to help. And I think, yeah, I think this is just the best place to build right now. So people should just adapt that and work on stuff.
Yeah, cool. I also agree with what you said. Stagnant is the best place to build. And if anyone on this call is looking forward to build on Stagnant, you can always join our community, Stagnant Africa. We have a lot of active career developers that can help you. Even Okhai as well. He's hosting a base camp as we speak. So you can actually like help you with your journey on building on Stagnant. So since we don't have any questions, I think this should be the end of this community call. And thank you all for joining. Bye.
Thank you
Bye,
for having
man.
me. Bye, Paul.
Yeah. Bye.